It was just scanning for a server for ages, and it couldn't find one for a while. But yeah, I'm not sure whenever it goes live. So I think it's live now.
Hmm?
I think we are live now. I should probably turn
You
that
couldn't
chat
do that.
off. Because people are saying crap. Whoops. Paul, do you want to get us started?
Alright. Wait. What? Wait, we're actually live now?
Yes,
Fuck,
we
where's
are.
my...
Stop eating.
Damn it, where's my, harmonica? Shit. Oh. Welcome everyone to, a late but kind of, perfect timed, TDG podcast. Now we got,
This is
a great
episode
big,
4.
we have a
massive
massive episode. Alright, take it
well,
away, guys.
not this one. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. That was TDG episode 4. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Solid episode. So what do you think about that episode, Paul?
Yeah, I think it could be more sweet and short.
Oh, it's a bit short.
People-
You're thinking about it a bit long.
Well, I don't know. People have, I don't know, a concentration span of like 10 seconds. Anything more, they kind of
I see.
they kind of go a bit ADHD. And
Right.
just do something else.
Okay.
You know? So just
Alright.
next time. So episode 5, let's do it like a quick one.
All right. A really quick one. Maybe it's a 12-hour stream. What?
You said 12-hour stream?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Surprise, surprise. Anyway, we'll do this properly. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to
Yo.
the TDG Dota 2 podcast. I'm your host, Darth Quidus, and with me is Cedric. Thank God
What up?
he's awake. This is episode 4, and it's been long overdue. We're talking about 6.82 update. We were meant to do it 3 weeks ago, but things happened. Anyway, it's here, and we will make it up to you with a 12-hour episode for episode 5, which is gonna
But mind
come
you,
later tonight.
I think it's a good opportunity that we are doing 6.82 a bit later. It's a bit different to everyone else. We actually get to say what actually worked and what didn't.
Yes.
You know, what was hyped up and what was underappreciated. So, this is a good opportunity to see the flaws and strengths of this patch.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's been a few tournaments since 6.82 patch, and I've been following some of them really closely, especially Team Secret's games, because go Team Secret. And I'm actually slowly getting back into Dota, playing a few more games than usual. So I've got quite a bit of pub experience myself on the 6.82 patch. But before we dive into 6.82, we'll just wait for Paul to stop chewing, because I will
No
be
problem.
asking a question.
I'm
Paul,
here, ready.
how was your last 3 weeks of Dota 2?
Last 3 weeks. Is
Yeah.
this in relation to 6.82 or is this in
Just
general?
in general.
Yeah, no, pretty good. I've been subbing in for a team. It's not going too well. The team's not that good.
What are
I
they
think
called?
you've seen a few of their games, but I'm getting a great team up, mostly 5k above, and that's going to be starting next week. But overall, in terms of the new patch and how I've been fitting in, dude, carries, man. I've been playing a lot of Medusa. I'm still undefeated as Medusa. Well, there was that one game.
We lost that one game.
Well, no,
where the dude abandoned
No, but
2 seconds
someone
in.
abandoned 2 minutes in, so...
It wasn't
I don't
even 2
count it.
minutes.
Like, like a minute.
Yeah, like Cedric was Medusa Radiant safe lane. He got to the lane, and it was
So we had
Sven.
control lane,
Sven was
and this
support-
abandoned walked
No,
back.
Abaddon was supporting him, and he was walking up the tower, and they dived the Medusa, and then
He's
then
like,
he was
"Fuck
expecting
this."
the
Like,
Abaddon
"Fuck this,"
support,
and he just
and he just
went back to
left,
base and abandoned.
and he gave up first blood, so stats counted, and we couldn't leave after that.
Yeah.
event.
Shit.
It was horrible. Because we were in a winning streak as well, and that was just like a little dent on that awesome winning streak page that we had.
We actually nearly won that game.
Yeah, we didn't do
That's-
too bad, except
we-
like
we-
we just
We got to what?
we're
the
just
50th
one man down. I think it was like we were up to their T3 and they're up to our T3 as well.
But like, but that's what I mean. Like, I've been playing Medusa, nearly pretty much undefeated with her, except for that one game. And even in that one game, when we were one player short, we took it to 50 minutes. So
Yeah.
Medusa's strong, man. I'm loving her. But yeah, that's my Dota. That's my Dota in general.
Yeah, this stream has, I mean, not this stream. This patch has been really carry heavy, just promoting, really late game compared to,
Well,
the
about
snowball.
time. About time. I mean, like all the hard carries just weren't picked in the meta. Like everyone was
Mm.
finishing the games. This is the last patch in like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
no one who picked hard carries. You
And
picked
that was
no one
fun.
picked anti-mage. No one
That was
picked.
fun in pubs.
Yeah.
I think this patch is pretty good in terms of ranked because I've been complaining about ranked games in my MMR anyway,
Oh
where
yeah.
everyone just chooses a carry and I'm solo support, and then some of them aren't even good carries, and then it just allows the enemy team to snowball.
Mind you,
So
mind you,
now,
supports are getting stronger, man. Like
uh,
if you
I don't know.
see
I
Sir
do want to
Action
talk about
Stacks,
that.
the thing is, like, if you're a support and you're doing shit, right? You know, you have no farm, you might have boots and wards because you're a good support, and
Mm.
that's it. But if you take one big fight, you suddenly got 2,000 gold. You suddenly got all this gold for you to support. There's your 4 stuff, and you can suddenly get bigger items by winning fights, even if you're behind. And if you're ahead, you're naturally getting decent farm as supports, mech, 4 stuffs,
Yeah,
yours.
but it depends on the hero as well. Like I think, um, really core supports aren't that buffed with all these new changes, but
When was the
if
when you as a support? When was the last time you finished a game with you having boots and that's it? Like boots and I don't know, maybe stick charges.
never, I'm pretty good support.
No, but like
I get
there used to
around.
be a time where some supports literally were that poor. Now you have supports who actually have items, um, and that's all you need is one good team fight,
Yep.
and
But
that's because of the comeback mechanic.
yeah, I think it still depends on the support. Like really core supports like Chen still not as played from this patch. Io in pubs,
Even
fair
with his
enough.
buff, even with his buff.
Yeah, I want to talk about his buffs later. He's one of the heroes that I picked that I want to talk about because yeah, no spoilers. Anyway, 6.82C actually came live. Uh, when was this? Yesterday? 2 days
6.82C.
ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. Just a few more minor tweaks
Yeah. Well,
on
for
the
one, like it's also on 6.82 and 6.82B. They've been tweaking down the comeback mechanic. The first when it came out,
It
you
was
kill
way
some
too
guy with a
OP.
godlike streak, you get like 4k gold. Now
Yeah.
you might get like 1300, 1500, which
Now
is
now it's
good.
pretty even.
It's
Like
yeah,
it's
and now
not that bad.
6.8C they tweaked it even more. But Ice Frog probably has been listening in this patch. Like, like the biggest problem, like they've been putting nerfs to like Death Prophet, Brewmaster, who are all really good, strong heroes. But even then, people were picking him all the time.
Hmm.
So Ice Rogue was like, fine, like if he's still that strong, we're gonna put an extra nerf. So they increased the, for example, exorcism cooldown, extra 10 seconds. Primal Split takes longer to cast, so more times you have more chance to kill him or get a stun off. So they've been banning a lot of these. No, I'm sorry, not banning, nerfing extra on these carries, especially Spectre. Spectre's got like what, a 60% win rate at the moment.
Yeah. With this
So he's
current
been getting it.
patch, Pudge is still most played in the
Yeah, yeah, in like
pubs. But
2k mark.
top three win rate at the moment it's Omni Knight
Oh yeah,
because
oh yeah.
like
Mm.
how do you, like you even see it in pro games Omni Knight's dominating, and then there's Necrophos.
EG
I'm
for
not sure whether he's played as a
carry.
carry or a
It's a
support
carry.
with that
Trust
win
me,
rate.
you don't play Necro as a support.
But Spectre as well, top three, because yeah, let's say Spectre with his ulti and Radiance, what are you gonna do?
Well, like in the last pad, the biggest problem, well,
BKB.
for the Spectre is he needs to get farm, and he can get shut down by all these early game
Yeah,
heroes.
that's right.
Now, what you have, because of these comeback mechanics and all these new changes, you have Spectre being able to get that farm regardless.
Mm.
So one big slip up, and he's gonna have that farm,
That's the thing.
and then it's not like he grows slowly. He grows exponentially.
Yeah.
You give him radiance, and the next 5 minutes he has like Manta. The next 2 minutes he has a heart on top of that. So
Yeah, and
it's
it's
one
not
of
that
those.
hard to farm with him. Another one that I've seen like just dominating terrifyingly in captain's mode, especially in pubs, is where is he? Terrorblade.
Go all
Just
the way down to the bottom.
Earth
Where is
Spirit.
he?
Earth Spirit's the least wins.
Yeah, but
It's
there's a
because no
reason
one
for that.
uses him. No one knows how to use him.
No one knows how to use them.
Where
Most
is
likely, there he
Terrorblade?
is.
47% win
47%.
rate.
Interesting. And
Um,
like that's not I want to say like that doesn't indicate much. Like you look at it and go, oh, he has 50% win rate or lower.
hmm.
But if you go into pro matches or like high MMR, they know how to use Terrorblade.
Yeah, exactly,
They
and it's
they really
terrifying.
know how to abuse Terrorblade.
It's terrifying. Like, I think that's the problem as well. Like, the pubs, when they use them, not only do they have the same skills as the pro players, but like some of the people see Terrorblade being played in pro match, and then they
Mm.
see him in pub, so they'd be like, "No, we've got to shut him down." Like,
It
I've
would be
seen that
really
guy
good.
snowball.
It would be really good to get a better indication. See the win rates in relation to the MMR. Like I would really want to
Yeah,
see that
like,
because I
that's the
reckon
thing
it's so
that Dota
different.
Buff is missing, like actual graphs and stuff, instead of just showing a bar graph of like, let's say, win rate or like how many
I
times
think
played
they
and
might
stuff.
have that, but you have to pay. But screw that.
Well, when we start making money with these podcasts, we will play, and we will give you better data in terms of
Oh yeah.
heroes. But just really quickly, another one is Ogre Magi. Like, you see him a lot in pro plays, and I'm pretty sure he got buffed from 6.82. I think
Ogre
this.
Magi as a support, if he gets farm, he is dangerous because he's always naturally had high strength gain. He's
Yeah,
a tank. You give him some
he's a
farm,
really
like
tanky hero.
you can definitely compete with some of the other carries.
Yeah, like
Uh,
especially early on, like you have one of the highest armor in the game, right? Especially as a support. And not only that, but 6.82 actually buffed his HP regeneration from 0.25 HP per second per tick
yeah,
to 2.5, which is
and like
a lot. Like, you don't need tangos.
and just to jump, I can tell you why Necrophos has also got the second highest win rate. Mainly, okay, he's a tank, right? With farm, he's hard to kill. But what sets him apart is his ultimate with Ags.
Hmm.
Like with this patch, and if you check 6.82C, they've actually nerfed the buyback. It's now 7 minutes from 6 minutes, and there's a
Yeah.
reason because in this patch, everyone has buyback. You have to literally kill them twice to win the game. But with Necrophos, imagine this: you're trying to fight. Their carry is cocky, going, "Yeah, I'm gonna go into this fight. I've got buyback. I'm gonna just kill everything." You have a Necrophos who just ulties him. He cannot buy back. Plus, you add an extra 30-second
Hmm.
spawn time.
Just really
That gives
quickly,
that gives you like 120 seconds to win the game.
is the reliable unreliable gold? When did that come in? Has that been always like
That's
in?
always that's been around for a long time.
Cause like when you hover over the thing and it tells you your reliable unreliable gold. Like, I've seen pros talk about it, like
Do you, do you
casters
know
and stuff.
do you know the difference?
Yeah, like I looked it up, but like this wasn't always there.
You research.
So like
Nice.
you never really knew about it until now that they're showing it. So, and that's actually a really important aspect in terms of making decisions in the game. Like,
Mm.
like, do I have buyback? Can I afford this item? Like, because one thing that you told me
Unless
about buyback is when you buy back, you actually gain reliable gold. Because you know how they say, oh, if you buy back, you don't get XP or gold. You actually do get gold if you get reliable gold, which
yeah, but
is
but no, but that means you have to get kills.
yeah,
You have to. If the worst thing you can do is buy back, and then nothing
and do
happens,
nothing, and
and
that
then like you
happens in
realize
pubs.
it's happened to me a few times. You're like, oh, this fight's gonna go for a
Yeah,
while. I
yeah,
pretend
yeah.
the
Like, you
fight.
get
You
so hyped
come
up.
there,
You get so
guys.
hyped up.
What
You
happened?
buy
What
back.
happened?
You
Where's
TP in, and then
everyone?
everyone just leaves, and it's like,
Yeah.
well,
Well, well, what a waste of buyback.
I'm alive.
Because generally, especially in this comeback mechanics, if you get some kills, you get your money back. Your money's worth. But
Yeah.
if you don't, that's when it hurts.
And
That's when it really hurts.
sometimes that extra, set of skills after you buy back can easily turn a team fight around, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it happens in pubs so many times. Like they'd be like, "Oh my god, got to buy back, got to get back in." They'd buy back. Sometimes like a
Where's
three,
everyone
4 man buyback.
going?
They'd come back in, and it's like,
Come back!
where did everyone go? I just wanted friends. Um, but yeah, I think it's time to talk about it. I've got a few dot points here of the major changes from 6.82. We'll go through them point by point and then just add in whatever and talk about whatever we have experienced from the patch. So firstly, I'd say pretty big change. I think the game that we're watching right now is Wagon Mama Stream. I think
Mhm.
that explains it, 1,000 spectators, but we're just gonna use it as an example. So map changes. Paul.
Oh, map changes. Yes. So there was a few new changes. As you, well, unless you're hiding under a rock, you would notice some things have been changed around.
Hmm.
Roshan is the main one. He's kind of been rotated. So instead of Roshan being closer to the T1
He used to be here.
middle dire, it's now closer to the T2 dire. It's strange because I'm looking at it and it's supposed to give Radiance a bit more of an advantage, and
Yep.
maybe it does. But I've still seen it really hard for Radiant to engage, to start a fight. I mean, they're obviously trying this out to see if they can give some advantage back. And, and mind you, because what always happened was Dire had the Roshan advantage. Radiant has the laning advantage. That's why you see Radiant offlane is so much easier.
Hmm.
Because yeah, if you see, if you can scroll up to the, well, what should be the T1 offlane Radiant, as you see, there's like a nice little safeguard because there's really hard for heroes to come behind you and gank you because you be usually where the river is, but on the Dire side, you're always behind the bush or like parallel to the bush, so they can gank you a bit lower, Yeah, you'd be right there, and they can always gank you from the side. So they fixed that up a bit. Now they gave the laning, they gave not much more laning advantage, but as opposed, it gives no more Roshan advantage. But that's not the case.
Well,
It's still a Roshan advantage. It's easier, but
it,
um,
cause the thing is, like people were saying, like as you said, like, and it's a legit thing. Why are they attacking there? You see that? The ancients started attacking the neutrals. It's still there?
no, I could talk. Yeah,
Oh, I
you're
thought I was
cutting out a
lagging.
bit. No, I was lagging.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the ancients started attacking the courier. Anyway, people
That's-
used to complain that Roshan is for advantages to the dark side being here. Like it used to be there, right?
mhm.
And the creeps used to be there where that is, and there used to be stairs coming down here from the dark side. Anyway, now with the new Roshan location, it's easier to contest because if you look at it, like it used to be here, right?
Yep.
And Radiant stairs used to be here, right where it is now. But then Dire stairs used to be there, so it's right next to the rush pit. But now both stairs from both sides is actually like just right across the
Nah, I know what you mean.
rush.
Like there's still, like you're right. It's easier to contest, but there's still an advantage. But the main thing is, towers have become so much more important. Like
Mm.
the T1 Radiant and T2 Radiant is more important. To hold on to that, that gives you easy access to the Roshan. If you lose those towers, you're
That's another thing as well. Like
kind
it
of
actually,
in
like
a bad spot.
this, the towers have been moved. Like T1 Dire on the offlane is actually a bit
Mm.
further than the T2 now. So what that means is
No, but like, look. Let's
it's
quickly look at this. To get an easy Roshan like, in terms of distance, if you all happen to die and get back to base, you need to kill 3 Radiant towers. So the T1 Radiant, T2 Radiant, safe lane and T1 mid. So once you get rid of those three, the T2 mid, it takes a long time to get there. However, to get a Roshan advantage against the Dire, you would have to destroy the T1 offlane, T2 offlane, T1 middle, and T2 middle. So you need to kill four, because like from the T2 middle, you can easily access the Roshan pit. It's closer than it is T2 Radiant middle. If that makes any
So
sense.
you're saying it's still better for die side?
Yeah, but I mean, in saying that, there is still slightly a landing advantage for Radiant, considering that for middle they've got easy neutral access.
Hmm.
If you see that, like you get like if you have SF or Meepo, they can easily go down to the neutral, not the ancients, the neutrals down there, and they just farm this and go back into middle lane.
Yep.
While for Dire, they have to run all the way near the T2 safe lane to get the farm. So. It's been an interesting experiment. I definitely like it. They put a lot of more juke spots.
Yeah,
around.
just on the rush bit again, like what are your experiences on warding this cliff over here?
Oh, that's a
Yeah, cause like I know
interesting cliff.
some people have been like skeptical about it, like if whether it's actually going to be useful. Cause the idea is it's going to give vision on the Roshan and the surrounding areas, but if you actually chuck an
It doesn't give
there,
vision to
it
the
doesn't
Roshan.
give you much. Like it gives you vision on ancient, and then over here as well.
It gives you more than you would think. If it,
But
I'd
not
say
on
it's
the
more of a
rush. Like that's
radiant.
the thing.
It's more of a radiant ward. Because usually if you're pushing T1 or going for the T2 offlane, you get a ward there, and any heroes that's trying to gank you from the sides,
Yeah, you have
you can
vision
see
here. So,
So
it's not a rush
it's
ward.
usually it's not a rush ward. It's usually a
That-
radiant ward.
Yeah, that's what people thought
But
about.
it does give you a bit of vision on their high cliff, if you do. That's a challenge. But like it's not the best. I mean, the other one is do you know the radiant one, the radiant ward?
Yep.
Yep, up there. That
Yeah,
one.
that's
an
another
interesting
change.
one.
This has always been there, right?
what?
Like this little temple thing. Except now you can actually place a ward there, which gives you vision all the way around this area, which is great if you're radiant, you know, defensive radiant side.
Like
Because
right now, sorry to interject, but in terms of if you're Dire, right, your safe lane and pushing towers in the safe lane means less than you having to defend the off lane Dire side because that's close to the Roshan. If you're Radiant, your safe lane is more important, and I think that's where it kind of equals out because you're more likely to protect your safe lane jungle. So therefore, you keep those towers up and stay near the Roshan pit. But yeah, oh, this game's already done.
yeah.
Didn't even realize.
Just another quick thing about the map. Well, there's still a few things that we didn't discuss on the lower side of the map, but this access to the secret shop on the Radiant offside, like it's like yeah, fair enough. Radiant can now access the secret shop really easily. We've got access to another game. Anyway, you know,
It makes it easier to get ganked.
exactly.
No,
Like
sure.
it's not a like sure it's a buff for Radiant, but it's more of a buff for Dire side because
No,
now
it's always supposed to be a buff for the Dire side. Like I said, they're trying to reduce the laning advantage that Radiant has early on.
because like if you look at it, like as you said, to gank the off lane, like let's say you're coming from mid Dire side, pick up the whoa what's that?
That double damage,
You pick up that double damage rune, right? And then you have to go all the way here.
and then
Then
you
you
can
have to go
around.
back here. You know, and there's, you know, creeps might be walking past, and then to go there's a tower, and then, you know, it's kind of tough, but now you can easily, you know, go straight to that guy.
Yeah, Radiant
And
still has a
attack them.
slight laning advantage, but then again, Dire still has a slight Roshan advantage. So
Yeah, and I think that's
it kind of works
I
out.
think that's better. But yeah, there's definitely a lot more jukebox, jukebox, jukebots.
Jukebox.
Like here.
Insert $2 here.
I wish there was a way to get rid of Fog of War.
Dude, that would be pretty cool. Like you use your own gold to put like money into this jukebox in the
And
middle
then
of
you-
these
you change
secret
the music.
spots. You get to change the music.
But yeah, so the T1 offlane die tower is right here. and all this has
Yeah,
been
they moved
changed.
the tower back slightly.
No, forward.
Oh, it's forward.
Yep, it used to be a bit closer to
Hmm.
T2.
That's my
So now
bad.
there's a bit more distance there, which is like similar to the off lane. I mean to the safe lane.
It's
Um,
interesting. It gives more juke spots for the Dire, but at the same time, it gives more gank spots for the Radiant.
yeah, so it's
So,
great because like you've got all these access points, right? And then again you can go around from here to here, just completely out of vision.
Trust in
But not
everything
only
the
that,
judgment.
on the other side as well, like those spots are actually new. Like there's a pathway there
mm.
and a pathway there. So yeah, so you can. That's just gonna be gank
It's
capital.
it definitely gives the advantage to those who knows how to abuse it. So it's not really a Dire or Radiant advantage.
Yeah,
It's
it's just
really
a
the
gank.
advantage for
It's just
those
more gank
who knows
spots
how to
in
use
general.
it in terms of if you're juking or if you're
Mm,
ganking.
that's right.
But yeah, so
And just on this spot, like this, usually it's just a clump of trees all together,
yeah, but now
and it's
there's more.
quite scary for Radiant safe lane usually when Dire would gank in, because they'd go in completely no vision on this side unless you have a ward there. They can easily jump on your safe lane farmer. But now it offers a bit of vision through.
Yeah,
But
I'm definitely in
like,
favor
yeah,
of
what do you
that.
think about this? Because like I don't actually see this much in play. Like I
Oh
haven't
no,
abu
what are you on about? Heaps,
I
heaps.
haven't
I've seen
abused
heaps.
this part like personally as much
You
as this
should.
part.
Like, I remember they had an Enigma offlane. I mean, don't laugh. It was Enigma offlane, and sure you can survive. But anyways, he was chucking his Eidolons to the side, but because we had creeps there, I had vision of him. But I was just always running around the bushes to make sure that the Eidolons don't see me.
Yeah.
So he would think, oh, I'm safe. But no, I've just been juking around the trees, making sure the Eidolons don't have vision on me,
Hmm.
and then you can jump on the Enigma.
So
So
you think this is what? Dire advantage? No, Radiant advantage.
it's no, it's either or. Again, it goes to those who know how to abuse
So
it.
what purpose does it serve? Because like as far as I know, the good thing that it does is it gives you vision instead of just having like this massive block of trees there
It
in what's
gives
supposed to be safe
Dire
lane.
a certain advantage because, like you said, it was just all these trees, and then to gank you would have to literally run away from behind.
Yeah.
Um, at that same time you can peek through. You can have a bit more vision. But at the same time, if you're radiant, you don't have to always run around. You can do little cool stuff through the trees. You can gank
Yeah.
him earlier. You don't have to either gank him from far behind or early from the front. You can actually go cut through the middle to gank him. That's why I say it's
And usually you
if you
can
know
do
how to
that
use
like
it.
with I always forget the name of
Sure.
that item that cuts trees.
Quelling blade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Calling Blade. Yeah, like you can do that with Calling Blade or Tangos, but now it's done for you. And I think it's supposed to reflect this die safe lane bush over here, which is like, it's a big chunk of trees, except there's actual pathways
Halfway
through.
through, but you
So
can cut through those.
yeah,
Um,
that's
yeah.
right. And one thing that I love just personally doing when I'm offlaning as Radiant, I carve my way through these trees and then just have easy access to there.
Oh no,
Um,
yeah, yes. To
it's
have
the best
access,
thing.
like you catch so many people trying to hide in that little. You know where the catapults are, and a bit south to that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
out. They'd be trying to hide there, and so you can actually abuse that
Yeah, just cut through.
by cutting the trees and then
They'd be
surprising
like,
them.
"What?" And
But
like it's fair enough because like that's a pretty solid chunk of trees. You can't cut through there normally, but on the Radiant safe lane,
yeah, Radiant has the same thing.
you can go there.
Uh yeah.
Anyways, that's the map changes. Now I want to talk about really quickly the double runes. So from now on,
I
every
like
2 minutes,
I
runes
like
will
it.
change, as some of you would know if you've been playing. And one of them is always a bounty rune, which grants golden
Killing
XP depending on the time of the game. You can look up the maths yourself, but pretty much the later the game, the more golden XP it does, which makes sense. So
Yeah, I love this change.
and the
I'm
thing
100%
about that is it
support.
makes bottle almost an essential for mid, right? And just to complement that
Well, it's always
change,
essential for mid.
just to
Well, for
complement
many.
that change, bottle crowing has actually been nerfed.
Yeah,
The
they've.
speed boost, I think it lasts shorter, only 4 seconds now instead of 20 or something like
But it
that.
goes super fast. It's
and it
like
goes really
it's a
fast.
race
And
car.
but additionally, the
Radiant's top
cooldown
tower has fallen.
has been longer, so now you
Yeah.
can't spam.
But like it naturally goes faster now. Like the default
Yeah, the
speed
default speed's faster.
Dire's
is
middle
pretty
So
fast.
tower
It's like
well,
is
400.
crowing
under
slightly
attack.
nerfed, but you don't
No, but
need
like
it
the
as
main
much
thing is
because like
now you can get away with getting more than one bottle on the team. Like if you really want to
yeah, it's
have full advantage of the runes. But the main thing really is if you're a mid player, right, and you're versing up another mid player and you have your bottles, and if one person has full advantage of the rune controls, maybe because of better rotations or maybe just because you're hero, like your quap, um, then you miss out on something. Then you completely lose the lane. Because if someone gets like a DD rune, you've lost the lane for like 2 minutes at least.
it's massive
But now
advantage.
this is kind of like it's almost like the pity rune. Like imagine, because I know sometimes like one mid goes bottom, one mid goes top before it spawns. They're taking a gamble. They're going, okay, well I think the rune's gonna be here. If because like if you wait mid, then they're gonna take it. So you preemptively go to a
Mm,
certain, you either go top or you either go bottom.
yeah,
And imagine if you don't get a rune, and then like
you have no bottle charges.
exactly. And the other one has a DD. Then you're kind of really behind, and you
Yeah,
have to bottle crow, which
that's right.
hurts your team. So this way, I mean, sure, like if you get an invis, it's still better than a bounty rune. I mean, bounty runes are better in some certain circumstances,
Mm,
especially if you're a support. I love them. It's good
yeah, that's
gold.
right.
But
Like
it
if you're struggling in,
generally
let's say
like
you're struggling in CS in mid, like it's really bad. You pick up bounty room, that's extra gold for you. Get helps you get your
it's slightly more
next
like
early item.
it kind of is the gold you would have lost by not leaving the lane, and you get
Yeah,
bottles.
exactly. So it
Uh,
it, it is good in making mid
But
battles
like I
really
said, like
fair.
it's the bounty rune is not better. Like if you're up against the DD illusions, they can just harass you out. But at least it gives you bullet charges to get some extra CS,
Mm,
or to at least challenge the mid player. It's not a if you win the rune, you win the war kind of thing
yeah.
as a mid player. So I like that. I like that a lot.
But that being said, wards are still essential, so supports keep warding the river.
Mm, yes.
Um,
And also, every nearly 2 minutes, support should actually be rotating to the rune.
yeah. Um, just really quickly, since the patch, I've been having to relearn my way of supporting. I don't think I've babysat anyone for like throughout all of early games in 6.82. I've been playing mostly roaming supports due to one the patch, but secondly because I've totally lost my faith in Disruptor, which is my go-to hero. I think 70% win rate or something ridiculous like that. Um, so I've been having to relearn a few more heroes, and I'm learning how to be a roaming support.
Radiant's top tower
Um,
is under
namely
attack.
Mirana and sometimes Rubik, and Ogre Magi, and
Okay,
Bounty
Magi.
Runes are amazing. Like you'd be like, okay, so I'm let's say right here, and then I'd ping my mid to go there, and then I'd go there and snatch the rune. So
Mind you, bounty runes, they get better over time.
Radiant's top
yeah,
So
tower
the
is
longer you
under
wait, the
attack.
more experience and gold it gives.
with that being like
Oh,
one
yeah.
thing I've been
Yeah.
wondering about, let's say you pick up you bottle a bounty rune at 40 minutes, and you don't activate it till like 42 minutes. Does the bounty rune still scale, or does it lock in on when you bottled it?
It doesn't scale much. Like you might as well use it if you need bullet
But it,
charge.
it, it
Yeah.
does it does change, does it?
I'm not too sure. I'm not
Yeah,
too
I'm not
sure.
sure whether it's like when you picked it up or when you activate it, because I'm not sure entirely, but as a support or even just as a mid, whenever I bottle a rune, and if it's a bounty rune, I do save it. So, oh, we forgot to mention that bottles are
Enigma's getting
actually
destroyed.
it
Oh yeah,
got
bottle
nerfed.
is more expensive.
Yes, by 50 gold.
But in saying that, it's more consistent, it's more reliable, and so
Oh
it's
yeah,
probably
it's
more worth it.
definitely worth it.
Like in other words, you're more likely to get your bottle charges back
Mm,
than in earlier patches. So in terms of
it's
investments,
way
it's
worth
safer.
it. Yeah,
It's definitely safer.
and in pubs, like it has its own value in itself. The bottles, like we'd have team fights, right? And they'd 1v1, let's say one of our main core, and they'd just be attacking them non-stop, and I'll be there right behind, just giving them bottle charges. They'd be like, "What the hell? They're not dying." But so yeah, bottles are actually worth their own, even without the
Mm.
runes. So as a roaming support, I'd say it's one of the essentials. Not
A roaming support a bottle? Maybe.
like, well, I
I,
wouldn't
s- I
fine. I
still
wouldn't
like.
say
I
it's an
still like.
essential, but it's a
Mm,
really good item to pick
it's
up.
interesting. I would stick with just clarities and tangos. They're still just amazing to have. Like I've been playing a lot of VS roaming support. Just having 3 or 4 tango clarities and some tangos. Like by the time you go gank, you already have a stun and a wave. Like you're set to gank. It's really a worthwhile item. And plus, it allows you to support more because things are so much cheaper getting clarities in terms of it gives you better investments in return earlier for supports because it means you can get other things like wards, maybe earn
Yeah.
simple items like that.
Well, if you're mid, like, and you
I
want to
mean,
push
like,
your bottle, that's
mind you,
fine.
I'm not putting it out of the question.
Yeah.
Like, you can get bottle, like, if you see fit.
Like it's not the first things you'd get, but it's really handy to have. I think as a bounty as a roaming support.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, thirdly, creep denies. The XP gained. I think it used to give XP to the enemies if you deny it, right? Like
It still
slightly.
does. It still does. It still does.
No, I thought it completely.
No, not completely. Not completely. They made it. How it worked was range and melee
Oh, that's right.
heroes
Yeah.
are different,
Yeah.
but they made it easier for like if they changed it so that if you're ranged, you still get a lot of XP even if they deny it. And it was just eventually people were just like, is there even a point to doing
Yeah,
it?
there's no point denying. And
So
I think it
now,
wasn't. Yeah, that was like a change from 6.80,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think. Like it wasn't always
yes.
like that. Yeah.
And they changed it to make so denying has less impact, but
But now
that
it's
now it
always
does, it
50
does.
XP.
Yeah, so now it's always worthwhiling denying, especially if you're dominating.
Hmm.
And you only really deny mainly in the laning stage.
Exactly.
So, in other words, it could be the difference between you getting an advantage and yeah, you you not getting an advantage,
Hmm.
and therefore the early game could be decided based on the XP and gold you have. So denying is now much more important,
And
much
it's
more.
great. It's great for the supports as well. If you want to babysit your carry, then you can get your XP from the denies as your carry 5 clicks away for those last hits.
Oh yeah.
Because as you said, like back then, supports struggled with gold because they would want to make sure that all the CS goes to the carry. They can't get
Well,
XP as
it
much.
was
Hard
hard,
to get
especially
six,
the
but
biggest change, and this was ages ago, was when they increased the default gold gain from 1 to 1.5.
mm,
So that just made it easier to gain gold in general, just by standing around. Like it's literally the center link of money. It's literally you don't have to do anything and you're getting money. So, um, yeah, so it really helped the all those heroes who go to Centrelink and are homeless. But yeah, so it made if you're behind, it just made it easier to get items. Still, it made it easier to come back. So,
fair
but that
enough.
was a while ago. So
Um, we're just gonna go through these last few ones really quickly. Some of them we've already talked about. Golden XP scales with. Oh, this is the comeback mechanics. I think
hmm
it's the main change of 6.82, and
um
updated by
oh
6.82b almost immediately.
it
Pretty
was
much
ridiculous.
the um, let's say you're level 20 Wraith King against a level 23 Void. If you Void's on a on a kill streak, you kill Void, then the golden XP you gain will scale up depending on the difference between
hmm
your
And
levels and also your net
and also
worth.
how much kills. Like if you're on a killing streak, if you're on this and this, you get more, and the team gets more, not just you.
Yeah, it's an
Um,
AOE
it's an
XP
AOE. So
gold gain.
before, like, if you get a godlike streak, you get 1300. but now like everyone gets a lot of money.
Yep.
But mind you, it's hard to
That's-
talk about it because they've tweaked it so many times. I'm not sure exactly
They've
how.
had to, like, as we've mentioned before, like, in the first day, it was just
No, it was
ridiculous.
no, it was.
How much it, like, gives, like,
I still like every year
it overcorrected
Dota.
itself.
Well, like every year Dota and Ice Frog, they probably try some new things. They see if it works, and then they tweak it down from there. And to be honest, yeah, I like the fact that you give a bit more comeback mechanics. And yes, it was too much, but they tweaked it, and they tweaked it again in 6.82C. So I think we're starting to find that perfect sweet spot in terms of comeback and being able to have that incentive to push base without going, oh, if I die once, I'm going to give you like 10k gold.
Yeah,
And
it's
then it's right. So,
pretty tough.
but I think now they found the balance right. I
Yeah,
really
like
think they
this patch
they
really, I think favored carries because, and some people are saying that there's no point playing supports anymore, which I think it's
Nah,
wrong because
nah.
there's always a need for supports. You can't just write
Especially
them
now,
out.
I mean, like, especially now that the comeback mechanic has been nerfed constantly, support's always going to be strong. And
Yeah.
supports with
Like, it's starting to
farm
balance
is even
out.
scarier.
Starting to bounce out, and like I played a game earlier today, and I was Mirana. I was a position 4 roaming support, but everyone was so bad that I had to transition to core, and I was getting farm. That's fine, but enemy Legion was snowballing because of the feeds early game, and she was on a killing streak. She went up to level 25. I think everyone else was like level 17, 18. And then I solo killed her once, right? And then I legit gained 4 levels and so much gold. Like I picked up 2 of my core items from that. And so that's comeback mechanics at its finest on
Yeah.
pubs. Finally, the towers. I want to talk about the towers.
With refresh every T1,
Yeah, rat strats aren't as effective now.
but it's still there, mind you.
It's
Especially
still
now
there,
with
but
the-
it's not
like
the
I've
go-to
won some games in 22 minutes, and you like the trick is you don't kill other T1s. You kill the T1,
Yeah,
then you
that's
push to
it.
the T2. They
Yeah.
glyph, just keep pushing.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that
Figure
because T1 tower, like every time it's destroyed, the glyph is actually refreshed, and everyone's saying like even pro Dota 2 people are saying there should be no excuse to not use the glyph, but actually there is. Like 'cause as you said, you can abuse that. Let's
Yeah,
say
every-
you take the T1 mid tower, you let them dry their glyph up, and then you push every other T2 except for the other one, then they'd be spamming their glyph and like. So it's what I'm trying to say is like the argument that you shouldn't not be using your glyph for T1s is not as
You should
straightforward.
be using glyphs. Of
It's
course,
not
you should
as
be using
straightforward.
glyphs.
But
And like
yeah,
now, there's
it's
no
great.
reason not to, especially till delay.
Yeah,
The main thing is like it's not only the tower gold and the glyph that's making death pushes weak. It's also the nerfs to a lot of heroes, like say Shadow Shaman's ultimates extra 10 seconds. Death Prophet's now been nerfed twice, so now it's 20 seconds longer
yeah.
to wait for her ultimate.
And
a lot of
Nature's
other
Prophet's
heroes
one
are kind
is
of,
I think it's pretty big
Nature's
change.
Prophet. I
Yeah,
disagree.
the Treyons, they used to have 20 magic resistance now.
Nah,
It's 0.
it's not as big. I
I don't know.
see
I think it plays
that.
quite. I think it's pretty big. Like it's
Nah.
they just die. Like they're
No,
by the
like,
time you
it's-
get to the tower, they're not there.
Dude, it's an extra 20%. I'm sure it's more, but there's
No,
a
no,
reason.
it's 0 now. So
Yeah,
they're
no,
just
but
normal
exactly.
creeps.
So the difference of 20%, extra damage. But just look at it this way: like, why do you pick up a Nature's Prophet? Nah, I'm asking.
I don't.
You don't.
Well, I used to
Oh, alright.
like in pubs. I used to pick Nature's Prophet because like he's really flexible. Like my farming strats with NP is unconventional, but hey, I get minus 4 minutes, 6 minutes in, and then I can snowball from there, right? And so you can be like a roamer, with your TPs. You could be a
Normal.
you could be a
Sure.
carry even if you get enough items. But
He's-
if all else fails, you can always rat. And,
He is
and
always.
that's
He's
great.
always. And I like to interject. Like, he always had one of the strongest mobilities in the game. Like he can beat
Oh,
anyone on the
yes.
map
You can get
at
road
any
runes
time.
in like 2
And
seconds.
like that's still around. Like the most important part of Nature's Prophet is still there. Like he can still rat because he can be anywhere in the map
Hmm.
at any
But
time. Like
not as
just
nobly early.
just because your trains can die a bit quicker, it doesn't make Nature's Prophet any less effective. If
Yeah.
anything,
Not as.
all it does, and it was smart from Ice Frog, is it nerfs that death ball push. You just
Yeah,
push as
exactly.
5.
So it's not as snowball,
Um,
which is great.
but you know,
And
like it puts Nature's Prophet back where he kind of is, like a bit of a rat. Like he's a bit of a rat. He can be a good carry. You get him
nature's
some
rat.
certain items, and he can gank like crazy, especially with mixture with other carries like
Mm.
Wisp.
Or Spirit Breaker, you know.
If you have like a Wisp CK, Wisp Tiny, and a Nature's
Yeah.
Prophet, you can be anywhere on the map, and you can kill
And it's
anyone.
just terrifying to move because like 3 heroes can jump in on you at any time. So,
Nature's Prophet is still just as strong.
but yeah, he's not like a snowball. Is what I'm trying to say. Like you could still jungle fine, but you can't just rat towers as fast now, especially with the glyph
Oh,
mechanics.
yeah.
And
Well,
also now,
well,
T2
the
tower armor has actually been increased, so it's harder
yeah, well, like
than
the
tankier.
point of rat was that you're supposed to do it while the other enemies aren't there, or they have like someone has to send back. But now, so rat is still just as strong. Sure, the tower's a bit stronger, but that's it. It's pretty much supposed to just nerf the death ball push, pushing as 5,
And that's a
with Death
really
Prophet,
that's a
Lone
really
Druid,
great
Viper, and
that's a really great change. Especially coming, I'd use it as an example because I really hate it. But TI3 grand finals, it's nothing but pushes. Like, sure there were team fights, but it's just like one team just would
I'm
snowball.
pretty sure you mean TI4.
Is that the latest one?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I just completely blocked it out of my memory that there was a TI4.
Well,
But yeah,
like,
TI3 was great. TI3 was
great. No,
amazing.
but TI3 had the more kind of rat versus team fight, and Alliance
TI4?
won the rat.
Oh,
No, that was
TI3.
TI3.
Yeah, yeah.
TI4 was the death ball pushes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So
abusing pushes to the
and
limit.
it's nothing against the Chinese teams. They're great, but like they knew that
If you-
that was the
Um,
advantageous strat, and that's what they used, and it didn't make a really good finals.
They
Like,
had a really big final tournament ECL
ESL.
yeah ECL
ESL won in New York, yeah.
ES
Finals
Yes.
RG and EG. That was good.
Apparently,
good game.
those were the most greatest matches in a
Oh.
long time. Like
It's
team
insane.
fights, it's got
ESL
insane
won.
like strategies, and it's
Oh
just
man.
it's so versatile.
Yeah,
and
you know
I think Ice Frog found a sweet spot. He found
he
something
did. Like
that like he brought back.
that's what the people wanted, and that's what the
Yeah,
people are
like,
now getting.
like I was sick of death ball pushes, like constantly 20 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't make good
I mean, look,
spectating.
look, death ball pushes I think is still as valid and great. Like if someone in this patch can make a strat that can win in 20 minutes, I would love that. But the problem is
It's still
every
possible,
single
yeah.
game you have everyone's pushing at 20 minutes and finishing. Like it was non-stop death push.
Mm.
I like to see death push. I don't want to see the death of death push. I just think that it was too strong.
Yeah,
The meta that
and
everyone
it
had
was.
to use it
like
to
it's
win.
a fact that it was, and finally Ice Frog saw it, and Valve made these changes, which I
Oh,
think are
Ice
great.
Frog, I trust, man. Like,
Do you know that Team
fan
Secret,
of-
like ever since their first loss to Alliance, they were on a 13 game win streak,
oh
right?
yeah,
And ESL 1 was actually the first game that they lost in a long time.
yeah,
they
I know.
just
Right?
Could win against RG, so that was
VG?
really heartbreaking. But
no, it's Vici, it's Vici.
yeah, VG ESL 1, I think
But Vici
it
did win the
only
finals, so.
it only went over 2 days. All right, and on the second day, I thought, oh yeah, it's just gonna be Team Secret game, so I thought I'd watch it. It was like 4 in the morning. I didn't know that the rest of the tournament was gonna be right after that, so I ended up staying up all day just watching it because it was really good Dota. Like it was really like, oh man, I was on the edge of my seat during the whole time.
Oh, me too.
I just want to quickly mention Captain's Mode. Third band face has been swapped, so pretty straightforward. Just to make it a bit more even in Captain's Mode. But there's been a lot of hero changes as well, mainly Bloodseeker and Phantom Lancer, just totally new heroes.
Those,
Same
yeah,
with Bricky
completely.
as well. His ultimate and his backstab has been not backstab, the jump thing has been switched. But there's also been a lot of tweaks on the other heroes. The 3 that I want to mention personally is Chen, because I love Chen. I love my Chen. I love Puppy Chen. Um, and he was nerfed really heavily back then, starting with the, um, extermination of the Phantom Glimpse, which is amazing. But Phantom Hook, I should say. Um,
Oh
but yeah,
yeah,
he's been
that's
nerfed, and you
fun.
don't see him much in pro plays anymore. You still don't see him now even. I'm really hoping that Puppy would play him someday. I'll just die.
Well, let's look at
Um,
this. You
but the
pick up a
change that
Chen.
the change that happened with him is in 6.82 is with the agonyms you can now
Hey,
use Holy
thanks.
Persuasion and Ancient. So what
The
do you think?
problem with the problem with Ags buffs in patches is that you have to actually get the
Yeah, you
Ags.
have to adjust to getting
Yeah,
Ags
like
because like some heroes you don't normally get Ags. Like let's say Phoenix.
like
Um,
what happens if you're behind as a Chen? You know, like you're probably just more shit. Like, let's look at it this way. Chen was great when it comes to pushes. He can push his 5, take towers, give you that early
and
advantage.
he's a good backbone in general.
Now that they've nerfed that quite a bit, the 5-man push, he's even weaker. He's indirectly weaker from this
Mm.
patch. I
And
mean, he's
so it
still
was
got, he
countered by
still
that
has.
ancient
I
buff.
mean, I did have an idea of putting Chen carry. He'll rush an Ags, and you get someone else rush a mech. And then you can go with deathball pushes. I'm still yet to try it because I'm waiting for my team
Personally,
to
I don't
come.
think it'd work.
Oh no, like because Ags is still strong.
As a
Like
core, Chen
in
core.
terms of yes, in terms of the sustain, you can get in a team fight because every 30 seconds you can ultimate and
Instead
get
of
extra fight
120.
speed. Mech, if you could even put other heroes in there to give you sustain, maybe Witch Doctor
Mm.
heal. Maybe you can put a Necrolite somewhere in there or Death Prophet for stronger push. So it's there. Obviously, it needs to be tweaked. I'll get back to you if I do try it,
Yep.
so I can say I told you so. But um,
Well, I think it's great that he can persuade ancients because some of the ancients are pretty good. Like I think my favorite one's the
mm,
what's it called? The Triceratops one. Do you know which one I'm
well,
talking about?
yeah, no, trust.
Not
Yep.
this one.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Oh, that's empty.
Triceratops.
But yeah, like
Yes.
it has a passive and an active, so it's not bad to pick
The
up,
I
and
mean
it
the big
it can help with your push because as you said, like it's now harder to push with Chen.
look the biggest problem still with the ancients is that by the time you get it, I don't know, like they're still weak. Like they just die, and but they're not that good pushes as well. Like they don't do as much damage as you
To the
think.
tower, yeah. No, like
All to the creeps. Like
yeah, yeah.
in terms of just a
Like
push.
I think it's more the
Uh,
aura and like
I think maybe Ice Frog might have to buff the ancient creeps
oh
a bit.
please don't. You can't like
I mean, if he wants to.
maybe if they're persuaded they have extra
Well,
effects.
right now,
But normally
Chen
ancients.
Ags is a novelty. Chen Ags is just a novelty.
Oh,
Right?
I don't know. Like I still play Chen when the opportunity comes. Let's say someone random said they don't want to play him. I play Chen, and I'm a pretty efficient farmer in Chen. Um, Pretty much I say, oh, don't bother me for 6 minutes. I'd pick up an Ags, and I do pick up Ags even before the Ags update. So because as you said, like 60-minute, 30-minute heals is a lot better than a 2-minute heals, and you can use it twice in team fight, in addition to mech. So it's pretty great, and this I think it's a pretty good addition to that Ags update. No, I don't want to play. Stop inviting me, people. Um,
Uni friends. What a noob.
but Pugna, I want to quickly mention. I didn't realize that you can do this
Pugna.
without the Ags, but you can actually heal your teammates now with your ultimate. You
Yes.
don't need Ags to do it. So, with Ags, it's even better because you'd be siphoning health from the
Well, the
enemy and then
biggest
you'd be
problem
putting them
again,
to your
Pugna has been indirectly nerfed from this patch because he's a pushing hero, right? And so it's gonna be harder with all those extra glyphs and
I push with him, but I don't use him
no,
purely for
I mean
pushing. Like
like
he's
look,
OP in team
I,
fights.
I'm not saying his push isn't strong. I'm just saying compared to the last patch, his push isn't strong. So he was indirectly nerfed a bit. and he needed to win in under 35 minutes, or else his win rate just dropped completely. Like professional statistic, it just
not
dropped.
necessarily.
Oh
Like,
no, like
cause
dude, this is
he's great in team fights.
no. Look,
You pick up blinks and then you go ags like
yeah, no, look, I'm not
legit.
saying he's
Like
bad. I'm just saying statistically, and Nahaz has been like always says this when they used to pick up Pugner, and after 35 minutes, his win rate drops to like 30% compared to like
yeah,
65%
fair
if you
enough.
win under 35 minutes. So what they're trying to do is make him a bit more strong mid game. Like they want to give him a bit more purpose. So what they did is they used his life steal to be able to help other teammates. And
Which is
imagine
great.
this,
It's
like
actually amazing.
you can buff, and maybe if you have a wisp on your team as well, like you can just constantly heal your carry to full HP.
Yeah, and
And
I have used
full
it a few
life.
times. I've
Yeah,
used Pugna like 2 3 times since 6.82, and it's great. Like it hurts you a lot, so you've got to be careful with your positioning when you're
yes, I
healing
mean, like,
someone.
it's a high risk,
But
high reward.
but at the same time, it's just it does so well. Like even if you die, if you heal your carry enough, it makes a lot of difference in a fight.
I'm still yet, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you've seen it, I've still yet seen a Phoenix Aghanim Scepter. Like, that was such a
I'm
novelty
I'm
item.
glad you brought that up because
Have you seen it? Have you
yeah,
actually?
just before this episode, I checked it out in the lobby because I was like, yeah, whatever. I thought it works like Tusk Snowball, in which you go in and then you click someone to go in with you, but no, like if you pick up an Axe, you actually have to cast the ult and then click yourself if you want yourself. But if you want to bring someone else with you, you cast it on them, and then they go on the same supernova to the same sun. So if someone kills your sun,
Both die.
both die. But
Yeah.
the great thing about it is, firstly, just to get it out of the way, it doesn't refresh their cooldown. So let's say Tide blinks in, Ravage, you pick him up, put him in snowball, and then he gets out, he's got Ravage again. No, it doesn't work like that. But it does fully regen their HP and mana, which is really
Mana.
great
Nice.
in sustaining team fights. But aside from that, nothing special.
Oh,
And
that
you
would've
don't
been-
normally pick up Ags on Phoenix, so I don't know
Look,
if it's
if you could refresh the other person's cooldown, it'll be OP.
Yeah.
Like imagine use it in fights. Like in other words, like the fight is finished, you won, you used Ravage, you just ulti, keep pushing, you have another Ravage.
Yeah,
Up,
like it's
you know? It's just
it's quite OP
Three
because
Ravages.
like instead, let's say you have
Yep.
like 4 int carries or whatever, and they all would be great with refresher,
just
right?
refresh. Just
So
get
instead of
Phoenix
them-
Ags refresher.
Yeah, instead of
just
them
like-
buying refresher, you buy refresher yourself, use your Ags on one, and then use your Ags on the other, and it's like, what? What are you gonna do? But
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't work like that, which is pretty smart. Thank you, Valve. Do you have any special mentions on any heroes that got changed on 6.82?
Personally, let's see. Other than that, it hasn't been that different in terms of um, like heroes, like changes in big heroes. Like it's not. There's still some heroes that are OP, but a lot of heroes are still kind of alright. Like they can be dealt with. Like a lot of people before this patch said, "Oh, this is OP. Ice Frog has gone mad." They always say that in the patch.
You're not even real.
Yeah, no one's seen him. But
Well,
like, but now with all the changes, like to Ricky, maybe Bloodseeker and Pia, like, yeah, they're changing some new things up, but it's still not OP. Like, and if it is, they would just be tweaking it. They're trying to bring out some new heroes. So, but still, Meepo is still freaking strong. If you pick him up, in a right setting, and a lot of, I know my friend. Well, he's gonna be in a team with me. He's 5.3k. He's got like an 80% win rate with Meepo. Like he is just crazy good with him.
80%. Oh. Man,
Nice.
last time I played Meepo, I think it was like 6.81 patch or something. And then I played him again recently, and I sucked.
Yeah.
Kind
But you know, like some heroes, it's not more that this patch 6.82, 6.82, not 6.82A and 6.82B. They've all been about not nerfing but buffing. So, but the nerfs has been very minimal, except for techies, like techies, whatever. good on you. But like even with
Techies is pretty good now. Like
not techies. I mean Tinker. Sorry.
Oh,
But like
right.
even to the nerfs to say Death Prophet or what is it Razor or Tinker or let's see looking at
Tower is under attack.
or Skyroth Mage even got a nerf. Even Shadow Shaman's got a mage. They're still
It's
being
not.
picked up.
Yeah.
They're still
Yeah,
being
because
picked
it's
up.
not. It's
'Cause
not
they're
that they're
still-
OP and they needed a nerf. It's more of like those tweaks for balancing purposes because of the changes into the game, which
Oh,
I
but
think
they were a bit OP.
I think a lot of work
Yeah.
has been put into this patch, and I think it's great. I think it's amazing. Meta is still evolving, and I'm following them really closely in pro.
Yeah, like the biggest thing I was worried about was just a comeback mechanic, but it seems like Ice Frog was on
He's
that from the
He's
start.
on top of it.
He was on top of it, and now I'm actually really happy seeing where Dota is
It's
right now.
playable. Yeah, it's
Mm.
amazing.
Oh yeah.
Amazing game. Um, anything else? I closed my notes. Do you want to hop on Dota really quickly, and we'll coach these guys, and to end the episode, we're just gonna be mocking, commentating live game.
Oh really? It's already
Yeah.
been an hour.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
fine, but I think it's great to end it with this, because the other day I was watching Cedric's game, and I was just commentating in the background. I did broadcast that, so you can check it out on my Twitch. And yeah, it's one thing that we've mentioned in the past episode that we want to try, and so that was my very first commentating ever, and it was pretty fun, and we'll give it a try. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So are we gonna coach or just spectate?
Just spectate,
All
because
right.
if like I can jump into Dota as well and spectate, so we can both have.
Oh, you can just look at my thing as well.
No, but I can just jump in. It makes it easier.
Makes it a lot easier. That's
Yeah.
right.
What the fuck is awesome knots? Get the fuck out of my Steam library.
Why do you have that? I thought you didn't.
I don't know. I think it's one of those advertising things. It's like
No, it's
2
a
days
great game. I
left.
told you to get it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, it's
That's-
it's like a MOBA, but it's like side scroller.
Meh.
It's pretty good. Don't delete it if you have it, because it's not free. It's not a free game.
What
I should stop
awesome knots?
showing people my MMR because it's embarrassing. When I got my solo MMR, I was like 3.2, and just losing streak one after the other, and now it's on like
3.2 is
2.9.
actually not that bad. I know people.
I was
who-
happy with it. I was happy with, and now I'm in 2.9. But that was before 6.82B. So now I'm still yet to play a ranked match with the new changes, and now with my experience as a roaming support.